Hello and welcome for a live gratitude meditation. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope you weren't waiting too long. Really looking forward to putting this on. A lot of people talking about gratitude and it being one of these wonderful practices that help us in, mitigating a lot of these senses of anxiety and frustration that we can often get, certainly with the current situation. And gratitude as a practice is one of those things that just begins to sort of help us to see and interrelate a little bit better. And that's why it's one of these old Buddhist practices that I thoroughly enjoyed, in particular around interdependence and recognizing that we are and have this bigger role to play in this world that we're on and this journey that we're on, and certainly the path that we're moving towards. Now, when we begin to sort of move into the spiritual path, or I know spiritual can often have some strange connotations for different people, but really anyone that's beginning to sort of turn inwards or begin to sort of reflect on how or their role in society or their role within their own life is on some sort of spiritual journey. You don't need to be religious. You don't need to be following any sort of particular scriptures or text. You don't need to be wearing a cape or get saged. The most important thing is at any point when you begin to go, wait a second, what is my role in this? What am I doing? How can I begin to control how I'm feeling about things? How can I begin to, Hello, Cactus. How are you, mate? Thank you for joining. How can I begin to relate to this world that's around us? This is spirituality. And when we start that path, we begin to sort of, it's a very independent start. You know, we begin to sort of really reflect on ourselves. We sort of begin to it becomes very much a one-person journey. And this is very normal. So it becomes, very much about yourself, very much about finding time, what practices, what retreats, what type of, is it yoga or meditation, or is it ASMR or whatever it is, and we begin to sort of learn a little bit about ourselves. It becomes a little bit more narrow and become a little bit independent. We begin to see ourselves as being on this journey, and often sometimes that can bring about its own confusion. It certainly did. Certainly did for me. But as we begin to grow along that path, this independence, I guess, bears fruit. And independence begins to recognize, actually, there's more people than just me on this path. And actually, there's a lot more to my role within this society, this culture that we live within. There's all these other people that go around all of their days. And in fact, I am incredibly interdependent. And by interdependent, we realize actually there's a lot of things that happen in our life that affect us, in both positive and negative ways. And that's why this practice, this meditation, this 30 minutes we're going to be looking at, is a real reflection how all these people, both known and unknown, can have an incredibly important role in what we're going to be, in the life that we lead, incredibly important way. We don't even need to know a lot of these people, and they can have an incredible say on how simple we can live our lives. And it's good to be grateful for them. And that's where the gratitude comes from, this recognition of our interdependence, this realization, actually, we're part of something so much bigger. I do absolutely love this practice, and I'm really looking forward to doing it with you. Okay, so wherever you are, I hope you can hear me okay. I'm assuming because nobody's put any messages saying that they can't hear me, that everyone can, which is awesome, and thank you. Now, my apologies if at some point during this practice the internet goes or drops a little bit and gets a bit sort of staticky or whatever. Remember, we're meditating, and that these problems actually will feel, thank you, cactus. These problems will feel a big part of, actually make a big part of why we practice. It actually helps us to sort of watch the distraction and bring our attention back. That it's okay to have those types of distractions, whether it be sound, whether it be distortion, whether it be anything, that actually we can just rest and watch that changing state of ourselves. Okay, so just get yourselves comfortable wherever you are. I'm sure you already are, and apologies, I've waffled on a little bit more than normal this morning or this evening, as we get ourselves ready for a practice in gratitude. And just to start, all I want you to do is just take a couple of big, deep breaths and just center yourself as you're closing your eyes, and just remembering, you don't need to close your eyes if you don't want to. If you prefer to have your eyes open, then awesome. Importantly, get comfortable. I'm just taking a couple of moments. And as we've brought some of that focus to the movement of our breath, as we're beginning to watch some of the sensations, just relax and rest and just let our body do its thing. And we take a few moments just to rest and relax, watch the movement of our breath, watch it flow into and out of our body. The breath just moves without any requirement to change it. Just sit or lie and watch. Just watch that movement. Now, if we can bring some of that attention, some of that awareness down into the belly, and just watch it rise, watch it fall, and just becoming gently aware of the sensations in that movement. Or maybe we prefer to watch the movement, the tip of our nose. Just watching that flow, watching that change, watching the body as it continues to change with every breath. All those wonderful sensations that allow us to rest openly. In the same way you can watch the breath, we can also watch the mind as it gets distracted, as the clouds pass by in the sky. We can just watch the movement. In the same way we can watch our breath. No effort needed, nothing to change. That gentle movement just helps us to connect with this moment, this continually perpetuating moment. The breath can bring us so close to where almost just being, without any other requirement. There's nothing else needed. Just watching that flow. Just noticing distractions. Gently bringing your attention back to the breath at any point you realize that. And throughout the practice, we can use that breath as that sort of grounding point. And just watch as the mind carries us away. And gently return. And notice the movement. But let's bring some attention now to some people that we have in our life at the moment. And remembering the breath is always there. It's always there, any time we find ourselves getting carried away. Now, this practice in gratitude is not about recognizing whether or not these people did or didn't know, whether they were benefiting us. What we're recognizing, whether they did or didn't, but what they actually did was benefit us or benefiting us in our life. And we're going to bring some gentle gratitude to that. And as we bring that compassion and gratitude in this way, we open our heart towards them. Not trying to feel lack or guilt or feel obligated in any way. Just recognizing these people have benefited us in some way and how wonderful that is. No feeling of obligation. No feeling of guilt. It's just a reminder of how we are part of something so much bigger, truly interdependent. And for that, we are grateful. And for that, we are receiving the kindness that others have extended to us in their lives. For no other reason other than the fact that you deserve it as much as anyone else does. And just bringing our attention back to our breath again. And just watch that flow. Watching that change. And what I'd like you to do is just bring to mind a loved one, someone you hold most dear. Now, it could be a couple of people, that's okay. Or if you don't have a particular loved one, maybe it's a pet, an animal, anyone over your entire life, whether they're with you now or not. I just want you to bring to mind this wonderful person or being that has been in your life. And just bring this person to mind, or people, I should say. I just want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. Why are these people so wonderful? Why do they mean so much to us? What kindness did we receive from them? Maybe they lifted you up when you were down or worried. Maybe they helped by bringing your attention to parts of you that you needed to reflect on or change. Or maybe it's just the little things that they do. These people bring such joy into our life. And see if you can hold some of that kindness in your heart just now that you've received from these wonderful people. Let's see if we can transform a little bit of that kindness towards some gratitude towards them, these wonderful people that have made such a difference in our life. We can do that just by, as you're bringing them to mind, just simply saying thank you, of reminding yourself of all these wonderful actions that they do and how much they mean to you. That's this cultivation of gratitude, this recognition of our interdependence in this world. And we bring that from the heart. It's wonderful remembering them, the kindness that they offer. And so we say thank you from the heart for all that they've done. You're just remembering them in some small way, bringing that gratitude to life, recognizing your interdependence, that these people made a difference to you, that without them, you may not be who you are today. They've been around to support you. Bring that kindness into your life. And it can just be with that simple thank you. And now we just let that person go, the thoughts of that person, pet, people. just watching, just for the next few moments, just the movement of our breath. I always sort of wonder what the next breath feels like. It's that sort of watching the whole breath all the way through. And now just bringing some attention to those people that we don't know. All those people transporting our food, working in dangerous places like mines and hospitals, front lines. All those people that work in the petrol stations, the nurses, the doctors, all these people that help us in supermarkets everywhere. Now, all these people seek happiness and contentment, just like you. Our lives are so interdependent. Without them, we would not survive. And so now we just bring some attention to all these people that we may have never met or ever really took the time to reflect on how necessary they are. They work on our farms, fly our planes, build our homes, drive our buses and trains. We have benefited so much from their lives over time. And they may not have ever had us in mind. The key point is that all of their hard work has helped us to live and to thrive. And remember, it's not about trying to feel guilty here. We are recognizing the intricacy of our interdependence to all these people throughout the world, whether they are in the next room or 18,000 miles away, completely unknown, packing our food, transporting. Can we open our heart towards them? And let them, come in. Just like you, they want happiness, contentment. And just because we don't know them does not mean that they don't matter. So we just do our best to feel their kindness, be thankful, have gratitude for all the amazing work that they do every day, throughout the night, early mornings, keeping us healthy, happy, and thriving. The teachers, electricians, the plumbers, scientists, the packers, post people, and turn that gratitude towards them. And just as we're here, just bringing some attention to one object. I'm going to offer up maybe a phone or a laptop or an apple, a banana, your breakfast. How many people were involved in getting this to you? Using the idea of a laptop, how many people were part of the production process, from mining of the metals to the manufacturing, the IT, the software development, to the packaging, the marketing, delivery, retail. There are so many people that play a role in bringing joy into our life. And it's wonderful to be thankful for all of their time, whether they're doing it for you or not. Just contemplating a few moments on this. And just before we bring this practice to a close, just seeing if we can notice the movement of our breath again. Watching it rise and fall and change. And as we're just watching the movement of this breath, it's nice to bring some awe into our life in this way. Remembering the journey that everyone, everything, even from the most inanimate, like an apple, a cup, a plate, anything, everywhere. And as we're just bringing that attention to our breath, maybe we're feeling that sensation in our heart, sense of warmth and connection. And this is a reminder that you are a part of something so much bigger. And it is the beginning or the continuation of that transformation from that sense of independence into the recognition of the interdependence and our role within this incredible world that we're a part of. And now in your own time, you're just opening up your eyes and taking with you some of that kindness, some of that gratitude, some of that, maybe that sense of awe, a sense of connection, the recognition of us being a part of something so much bigger. Now, if you enjoyed that practice, I've uploaded loads of other different types of meditations for you to enjoy on the channel. These will be going on every Sunday as well. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. The time is incredibly appreciated. And I truly hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.